Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Couch Talk episode. This is the ladies' take, man. You know what I mean? I'm here with the beautiful ladies. Um, I kind of switched positions, man, because I was trying to be on the same wavelength with them. But anyways, check out all the Stock and Middle episodes and the Couch Talk on YouTube at SITM Podcast. Follow us on all social platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly updates. Check out our blog section too, www.sitmpodcast.com. If you want to write for us, pick a side. No limits or no sex zone, whichever, float your boat. You could write, you could send it to sitmpodcast237@gmail.com, and we're going to put it up. Join the conversation, man. What you waiting for? Again, I'm here with the beautiful ladies, man. To my immediate left is Lula Day. Did I say that right?
You did.
Oh, hey, Jesus, I can remember stuff. And to her left is Nadine. Welcome. Y'all know her from, all the popular Instagram videos, man. The girl who told us that our loyalties is a grain of rice sliced in half. We'll talk about that though later. And to her left is Abril. She's been on the podcast, Stock and Middle podcast. But yeah, she's going to plug in later. So, anyways, yeah. Welcome, ladies.
Hey.
Where the energy at, man? Welcome to Stoke in the Middle podcast and Couch Talk.
Yes, thank you for having us. We're here. Okay. We're ready.
Y'all ready?
Spill the tea, yes.
Spill the tea.
Yeah.
But before we start, right, I just want to get, you guys' perspective on the men's Couch Talk. I'm pretty sure y'all watched it. And some of y'all was having like
Some
all
mixed
this, some
feelings,
mixed
right?
feelings towards
Yeah.
it. Like, yo, what's up?
So, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like as I was watching it, I didn't really have time to ingest everything because there was so much that was coming up. I wanted to kind of rebuttal everything that they were saying. But, I did have some mixed feelings because some of the things that I was hearing, I was just like, oh, these guys are disgusting. It was just a little, it was a lot to take in, especially when you kind of hear like the unfiltered version of what guys think about women, when we're not around. So that's kind of like my take on it.
Nadine, what you think?
Honestly, I want to handle that when I sit down with them because I really want to tell them how I feel about their opinions face to face.
Yes.
You don't speak this slow when you do it.
So I really want to handle. So I really want to handle it when they sit down and we're having a talk together. I want to handle it right there because they were saying certain things that I really do not understand why men have to think that way.
Guys, if you're watching, please, when you're coming back, hey, better bring them bullets because these women are ready.
Also, can I just clarify? So I know I said the word disgusting. I know we have to be careful about like the language that we use. Like I don't want anyone to feel like attacked personally by my word choice, but that was just my initial thought when I was listening. And
I mean, it's how you felt. Don't be
Oh, is
apologetic
the
about
podcast
it.
censored? Do we
It's
have
not
to watch-
censored.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
what I
So,
mean? Feel free.
Feel free.
Anything want to rip, just let it out.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we're not going to blip it. We're not going to cut it out. It's how you feel, and that's just that. How did you feel about the men's couch show?
Well, I wasn't able to watch the entire podcast, entire filming, but what I did catch, you see, it would be nice to have the females in the room at the same time because I want to know how authentic this was. Was it the juice talking? Was it the ego talking? Would they be that bold and
To say it in our faces.
is this really how? Well, is it men talk? So when y'all get around each other, well, when some men get around each other, they kind of just go off the other person's vibe. I don't know how authentic it was, and if so, then I would kind of want to delve deeper into it and find out what their experiences are that led to that.
Okay.
Maybe
So-
in the presence of queens, the king of them will come out, or maybe not, and then we can really get real.
Just, being down the only man sitting here and, we having this conversation, let me try to support them a bit to say, in 2 weeks from today, from this present day, we all going to gather here and we're gonna, have the same,
We all?
discussion. We're gonna gather
Oh,
around here. We're gonna have
okay.
this, yeah, you know what I
Okay.
mean. So
Okay.
the kings, as you say,
Yeah.
gonna have their chance, to back up whatever it is that you say today, and y'all gonna have your chance to back up what I said, previously.
I'm gonna
And we
make
go
sure
through
I
the energy.
run the clip again too and watch it through uninterrupted from
Thoroughly.
beginning to
Right.
end thoroughly.
You should.
Right.
Yes.
I'm digging that
I'm gonna
jacket.
take some notes.
I'm
Thank
digging
you.
them shoes.
I love her
And
shoes.
that,
Yes.
matter of fact,
her
all
bag
your
and her
outfits.
shoes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. See, nice compliments. You know what to do. You know what to do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but now let's get into it. Okay, so let's set the scene, right? You're married or you're in a committed relationship. But let's go with marriage.
Okay.
Or committed relationship, it doesn't matter. Should you or should you not have the opposite sex as a best friend? Or, and vice versa?
You shouldn't. For me, you should not. You should not have an opposite sex as your partner. Your partner should be your best friend. I don't understand why would you marry somebody that you can't talk about everything with them? Because the essence of spending the rest of your life with somebody is someone that you should be comfortable with, someone that you're able to express yourself at any time. And your man or your woman should be your best friend. Because let me tell you something. Every time you go crying on somebody's soldier all the time, at some point you're going to become vulnerable. And you're going to see yourself doing things that you never thought you could do with that person. So to me, it's a no. Once you're married, stick with your man. Even sometimes things are going to be hard, yes. Just chill, calm down, and talk to your partner whenever you can talk to them. You don't really need to have a best friend that you have to express everything about your relationship to, apart from your partner. So to me, your partner should be the ultimate person. That's your best friend. So that's how I feel about it.
Agreed. Sum up. When we talk about marriage, number one, I don't know about you two ladies, but I'm not married. So I'm not speaking as a married woman, my opinion. But my husband will be my best friend.
Yeah,
So
period.
opposite sex can be friends.
Yes.
You know, Fatsu, it's a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
But best friend, what's going to allow me to, gift myself to a man is because he is my best friend already.
Yes.
And now we will be best friends married. I mean, what is better than that? So,
Right?
yeah, it's opening to too much risk otherwise.
Yep.
What you got to say before I ask my
Best
next question?
friend.
Best friend.
Yes.
Okay, so since we're going to be a little bit technical, I kind of agree and disagree. I just think that, I'm just going to play devil's advocate a little bit here because I think that we all come into certain relationships, with like previous baggage, and then we also have like certain relationships that we kind of have established before, we maybe met our significant other. So I just think it's unfair to really tell a person that they can't maintain relationships. But if we're being as specific as saying, like I don't think that as a married person, you should have a best friend. I think that there's also certain risks that people assume that person might be taking, like, being vulnerable or wanting to cry on someone else's shoulder or wanting to kind of open up to another person in a certain type of way. I think that there might be some type of a room for like insecurities there. Like if you think that your significant other would go as far as sharing like a deeper part of themselves with someone other than you, I think that's an issue that you guys should probably tackle, in maybe like marriage counseling or with one another. But to say that a person shouldn't have like a strong relationship with someone just because it's the opposite sex, I don't know. It's a little.
Listen, but to me, right, it's not you not having a strong. You can have a friend, of course. You can have a friend that you can always talk to. You can always, but not a best. We're not talking about best friend. I feel like people in our generation, they just underestimate what best friend means. Best friend is someone that you can literally talk about every single thing that you can talk about with any other person. So if there's someone that you should always talk about all those things, it should be your partner.
Right.
I don't understand why you should take all your family problems. You have a husband, they want to carry all your family problems to an outsider.
So, but then let's define what a best
friend
is first.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's define what a best friend is
simply
first.
put, best friend, the best of your friends.
Yes.
So if it's not my husband, it's going to be my mama, and God is above that.
Okay.
It seems
So-
like you puzzled towards that. What is a best friend to you?
What is the best friend to me?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree.
As a married woman, remember the question was
Yeah,
married,
married and in a committed relationship.
and opposite sex.
There are definitely
You know,
boundaries and
so,
limitations to
yes.
what type of friendships you can have with other people. I would definitely say that.
Yeah, true.
Would those limitations be placed on your? Okay, let's change the word. Say optimal friend. You know, highest relationship with a friend, and you're married.
Well, then if we put it that way, then I definitely think that
Yeah.
should be that role should be played with your husband or
You
you
would
know
hope
your
so,
your
right?
wife. Or,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wouldn't you want it to be your man
Yeah.
or your significant other?
Right,
You would
exactly.
hope so.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like me coming back from work. I'm tired. I'm stressed. Instead of me going to my husband to tell my husband everything that happened at work, I have to call my best friend. That way, you're already losing that connection with your husband. Because what actually makes you really connected with your husband is what you guys share.
Well, you know, when I come home, I don't want to be talking about work. You know what I'm saying? So I might want to
I'm
call
just
my
giving an
girlfriend or
example in
yeah, I
that
got you.
situation,
So I think
you
that's why
know?
you're saying that there's
Yeah.
different
So
levels.
then
You know what I
is the
mean?
difference then? I mean,
Yeah.
besides the the obvious like gender difference, but what is the difference between you calling your female best friend versus your male best friend?
Yes,
It's
yes.
I feel like that
I
has
hear
to
you.
be like the distinction. So if you have if you're carrying a relationship from before you were married and this person
Yeah.
you potentially were intimate with or you were very vulnerable with that person, then I feel like that would be like the deciding factor.
Yeah,
Then I
but
feel like that
that,
might be an issue.
See, I was about to ask you that.
Yeah. Someone you've been intimate with though.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Those
That's
kind of
what I'm
ends need
saying.
to
It's
be
on-
cut before marriage.
I agree,
But
but
I wouldn't want.
Honestly,
some
once
old
pants
people
have been
hanging
pulled
around.
down, they can always be pulled down again.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just saying that's the distinction. That's the distinction.
Okay, hold on.
That one. That.
So let me paint a picture, right? Let's say before you got into a relationship, like a committed relationship, or you're working towards your marriage, right? You had that one guy that y'all grew up together. And I'm only saying this because after, we aired the man's episode, it was just so many people coming saying, "Oh, yo, so what if I've known this guy, I've known this girl for so long, like we practically, grew up together, we spent our time, we sleep on the same bed, we share the same blah blah blah, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Now that I'm in a relationship, I'm married, like, why should I, push him to the side? You know what I mean? Like, in you guys' perspective, is that wrong or right? Like,
No, to me it's wrong because
what's going on there?
obviously, as we grow up, things do change.
Right.
We are not the same. Like we don't behave the same way we used to behave when we were in high school. Things do change, and when you grow up, obviously you're still going to be close to them, but you will not be as close as you used to be. There are going to be those boundaries now. I have a woman. If you used to call me at 12 midnight, you can't be calling me 12 midnight when I'm in bed with my husband.
Exactly.
Like you can't do that. As we grow up and we do get into different activities, responsibilities are coming up, our priorities have to change.
Exactly.
Like you can't be calling me 2 a.m. Like when I'm married, no.
Right,
Wait
because-
for morning. The day go break. Wait.
I think there's a certain level of respect that you have to have for that friendship or for that relationship in order to kind of have those boundaries in place. So if you did have a friend that you grew up with, that you guys were really really close, whenever you decide to kind of separate those boundaries and say, hey, I'm going to pursue this person in a romantic relationship, like our relationship kind of has to take a back burner. Those are things that you have to be willing to communicate to someone when you make those steps. So I think it's all about respect. I think it's all about communication, and I think it's about just kind
Setting
of
boundaries too.
boundaries.
Yeah,
you know?
boundaries.
Since we're talking about boundaries, right? Hey, anyways, how can we, like, what boundaries can we set, when we're in this relationships, like when you get into a relationship or you're walking, like you're taking that path towards marriage, what boundaries can we set to make sure that, oh, this person that I used to hold as a best friend, or I used to see in a higher regards as in, this is a person that I could, go to with anything that's bothering me or with something that's, an idea that I have. How can we set those boundaries? What rules or regulations can we put in place to make sure that, we're not, we're not doing the other person wrong, pretty much?
Honestly, things are not going to change as in how I feel about you. I still love you as a best friend. I'm always going to be there for you, but I'm just going to sit you down and make you understand that, dear friend, I'm getting into another stage of my life and things are literally going to change. It's the same as when I have a baby. I won't be picking up the phone at 5 or 7 a.m. because maybe I was up feeding the baby all night and I'm sleeping out in the morning. I might not be there as much, but I'm going to make you to understand that you are still my friend and I care so much about you. And when you need me, I'm going to be there. But priorities change.
Priorities change.
Priorities change. That's just the reality about life. And once we learn how to accept that, then I think things will move in a better direction.
And boundaries being set, though, there's no like set standard. You know, the relationship is between two individuals, and they have to set those boundaries for themselves.
Yes.
You can't go off what your mama tell you to do or what your girlfriend is doing. And marriage, again, we're talking about marriage. And so, to me, the keywords: boundaries, communication, and respect. That would be something I would want to talk about with my partner prior to marriage.
Right.
You don't just have the wedding and then go home and
And
all of a
start
sudden,
talking about
voila,
those things.
I'm a wife and he's a husband. I think that's where we get things misconstrued.
True.
And when people are really ready to unite and share, do life with someone, it's not even about replacing someone, but you're making space now for the priority relationship in your
Even
life.
when there's no space, you have to create that
You
space.
create it. You create space, you
Yeah.
create time, and you just have to talk about everything. I personally would advise to begin those discussions and the change of behavior prior to the union.
True.
So let's say that you get like in a relationship, a committed relationship, or a wedding. I mean, a marriage rather, and you see.
Because the wedding's a ceremony
Right,
and the
no,
marriage
right,
is the relationship.
Right. Don't worry, it's not the Jew speaking, but anyways, your husband or your boyfriend,
Yeah.
he claims to say, yo, he has the opposite sex as a best friend. How would you react to that? Would you dead that relationship right there, or like how would you have that conversation when if you're not deading the relationship, and what is it that you want him to reflect on moving forward or act on moving forward?
Prior to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, actually, my closest friendships are with males. Okay, and one of them is married now, and the other one is engaged. And I think there's a respect factor. And yeah, there was, times when it might have been, challenging, but also I
Can you
have
speak to the challenges if you feel
Yes,
comfortable?
yeah, challenging meaning, yeah, I mean, as women, from my perspective, we all have our insecurities, but, I had to there's a time I have to fall back and give their relationship chance to be strong and bloom.
Because you respect their
I
relationship.
respect their relationship, and I notice too the insecurities on their women's part.
Okay.
Because I'm close with these men.
Right.
But I wasn't resisting or trying to push, or I had to keep my place.
Mm-hmm.
And as a woman who's on her grown woman, I had to understand that. If it was me.
Meaning like so what do you mean when you say like you had to keep your place?
So let's say usually when I call my homeboy, he's gonna answer, or the next time I talk to him, he doesn't answer, and I'll be like, well, so what's up? Why? I'm not gonna ask him why you didn't answer your phone. That's somebody's man.
Yeah.
You understand? That's somebody's husband. Our relationship is close enough that I know if I really needed him, he would be there for me. So those little intricacies, I had to understand that now he's in a relationship and has priorities.
Yes.
That are before our friendship.
Right.
And I don't take it personally to where now I change towards him, because he didn't change as far as friendship to me. But
That's
his
what I was just talking
availability changes.
Right.
You understand? His schedule changes. His priorities change. And if I'm really his friend, then we will resist those changes.
Right. So the
Right.
friendship
You
is still
know?
accessible. It's
Yes.
just not,
Yeah.
on demand.
Exactly. And should it be on demand though?
No, I'm just I'm
that's
just
the thing. And also,
just so we can clarify for the viewers.
Yes. And also, they have very good women, strong women, secure women, and who I have a relationship now with them as well.
Okay, that's another question
That's
I
a
was going to
thing.
ask you. Like, do
Yes.
you think it's important for you to then
Yes,
approach
absolutely.
the woman or have
They're my
him
sisters
facilitate
now.
that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very, very important
Yes,
to me.
I love
to me,
I love their women.
to me, right?
You know,
It's
they're
very,
like my sisters now.
very, It's very important to have a relationship with the women, because at the end of the day, when a man is married now, you have to get through his wife to get to him.
Right,
Because at the
exactly.
end of the woman now, she's holding the household. Like if you don't like the guy's wife, then that means you don't like the guy either, because that's his woman, and she's always going to be there. So
I'm learning a lot of things here.
yeah.
Anyways, I gotta ask you this, right? Um, being that, damn, I need to switch my whole mentality real quick.
You
I'm
didn't think
still-
we were gonna take it there, you know?
Nah, like I'm still stuck up on like the men's
The
couch
men
talk.
thing.
You know what I mean? So I gotta like switch my brain around. But have you had that conversation with his wife or his girlfriend? Had a conversation with her prior to I mean, not prior, but kind of like, yo, okay, now that you're in the picture, I've been in the picture, and I feel like we've established this friendship, and this is where I'm at with your man. As a friendship wise, this is where I'm at. So I don't feel like you should. I don't think you should have any insecurities towards me, but we could like work. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
So there wasn't a quote unquote conversation. So one relation, okay, so there's two close friends, like brothers. Like I'm literally closer to these men than my own blood brothers. Like if something was going on in my life and I needed assistance, or I needed help, and I needed men's advice, I would call them. And the one relationship, it just happened naturally, happened automatically. We all have our own radar. You know what I mean? And we filter and sift out from the girlfriend stage and the marriage stage. And women can feel each other's energy. And I only brought that same energy. I didn't switch up on her. I didn't feel, intimidated by their relationship, because she was a good woman for my friend. And that one happened naturally. She saw I didn't have any ulterior motives. In fact, she's the one that says, "Did you call Lula?" My father passed away last year, God rest his soul. And his wife is the one that'd be like, "Go check on her and see if she need anything." She would tell me, "Come over." She invites me for dinner. I mean, I'm amazed. I have so much respect for her. The other relationship, younger age, maybe not as strong and secure and know herself as much. And there was some resistance. And so that's now where it needed to be me to understand that, respect his relationship because he loves her. And I had to fall back. I had conversations with my friend, and he told me some of the challenges she was having with us still being friends, and how he said nothing would change between us, and it didn't, but with her she needed more time. So when she saw my sincerity and how I didn't want anything from her man but the same brotherhood I always had, she now felt better and more secure with me, and she calls me herself. I talk to her more than him now.
would you hang out with him, just with him, and her not present?
Yeah, we go out to eat. I go to his house. I see his mama. It's not. Yeah. In fact, when I can't get him to answer his phone, I call her and be like, "Can you tell your man to call me, please?" He never answers, and yeah. But it took time to get there. It took time to get there. Yes.
Thank God you said time.
Yes, it took time to get there. And also, it's what you bring. If you come in with love and respect and purity, I think you feel that.
That was what I was
I'm
about
not,
to say.
yeah, you can feel each other's energy.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's what I
mean?
was about to say.
Someone who knows themselves and has pure intentions, and
Right.
you love your man. And I'm saying that I care for him. I have love for him too. And I see the love you guys have in between y'all. Why would I try to block that? Why would I try to resist that?
But obviously,
Yeah.
there are people who are trying to block things like that.
Well,
It's possible.
Yeah,
Right.
that
Yeah.
energy is different. That's a ulterior motive. That's selfish. That maybe it's someone who's miserable, not happy with themselves, and do they really want to see happiness on someone else? I don't come with that. I don't come with that, and
So,
I don't.
Are you currently dating? Or
I-
in a relationship?
I do have a good relationship going right now. Yes.
Oh, wait. When you say you do have a good, that means you're in a relationship, right? Okay, cool. I just want
Ooh.
to clarify. But so, do you think that the reason why I should trust you is because you're in a good space too?
Yeah, I'm in a really good space, and that's the thing. See, my friends know how I have a very low tolerance for bullshit, mine or someone else's. And I have a tight circle. I don't try to be friends with too many people. My mama told me the other day, all your friends are men. What are you going to do when you get married?
I mean, that's for most women.
Is it? So it's not just me.
I mean, like
I have
like most women I
girlfriends.
talk
I'll
to,
go
like,
out with girlfriends.
most women I talk
but
to, they say, "Yo, like I can't really get along with women."
no, I get along with women just fine. I'm a woman's woman. I love my women. I get along with women just fine. But when I think about the strong relationships I have, the people who are consistent, the people that just don't take but actually give, you know what I mean? They happen to be men. They just happen to be men. You know?
Going back to my question, do you think that the reason why this ladies trust you is because you already established in your own relationship? That's why they're not thinking twice, saying, "Oh, matter of fact, what if you were single? Would it be the same?"
I was single. My relationship or rekindling of this relationship is very new. I was single for a while, and what brought me here today is my abstinence for about the past year and a half. And so what is that?
Nothing. Continue.
I think I just give off a vibe. I'm real. You know what I mean? And I give love. So if you resist love, that's an internal issue you have, and not with me. You know.
Man, y'all awfully quiet on that side, man. Like, what's that? Like,
No, she was talking, so I didn't want to talk over her. But obviously, if you were not in a relationship, the energy will never be the same. Because this woman doesn't see you with another man, but you are around her own man. So obviously, there are going to be insecurities. But if I know my man's best friend that is a woman, got her own man, it's on another level. At least I'm thinking different. Because I know anyway, she already got her own man, so... I think I don't think she really wants mine. So I think it's on another level. It really has a role. It plays a big role. It does. Because it's the same as when you're married, you won't want your man hanging out with all his male best friends that are single men. Obviously, they'll always kind of push him at some point to do something that, as a married man, he's not supposed to do. But when your man's best friends are married too, it gives you this level of security because you feel like if they're together, maybe they're talking about family. It's just a mental thing. Even if actually they don't talk about family, but as a woman, you knowing that your man hangs around other married people, it gives you some level of security. I would say that.
I can't help but ask, right? What do women want in a man? Being that, we hear, like, what do women want in a man? Like, how would you want your man to act towards you? How would you want your man to come correct towards you? How would you want your man to go out there, and be himself without you thinking twice, like, yo, what's up with John? Yo, what's up with Paul? How would you want your man to react in a room filled with women and you're not around, but yet still trust them? How would you want that?
Honestly, I'll say that I'll first start first. Every woman wants something different from a man. We don't look for the same things. What I want could be what she doesn't want. So we look for different things, but at the end of the day, I want a man that is able to be himself. I don't want a man that's going to say, "Oh, as a man, I can't cry. As a man, I can't apologize. As a man," I just want you to be a man. Just be yourself. Because a lot of men are suffering out here just because they feel like being a man, they got to always behave a certain way. They cannot really be emotional because they are men. I just want you to be yourself. And I just want you to be able to. And a lot of men fail to because they don't take time to listen to women. A lot of men feel like when women are talking, they're just talking out of emotions all the time. But just take time to listen to a woman. Always get her own point of view. I feel like things are going to be much better if a lot of men can just open up their ears and listen to what women say, understand how they feel.
Their woman.
Yes, their woman to say. Because I feel like men are so focused on wanting to know what women want. Yeah. No, focus on what your woman wants. Because we don't want the same thing. Yeah. So if some men can get that, then that's perfect.
Please repeat that again. Focus on what?
Focus on what your woman wants, not what women want. You can't satisfy every woman out here. You're gonna die.
But don't so many of them try.
Yeah, they do. You're gonna die.
But is there anything else y'all want to add to this topic? You know what I mean? Like
about the best friend?
Yeah, the best friend situation. Yeah.
I think we can move to the next. Sure. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, listen.
Let's go.
Huh? You said what? Oh, anyways, listen. Hey, y'all heard the women, man. Listen, focus on your woman and not all the women, unless you're a player. But then again, that's a whole different ballgame. But nah, hey, follow this episode and all the episodes at SITM Podcast on all social platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, SITM Podcast. Make sure you turn on that ringer so you get weekly updates. The blog post is up, www.sitmpodcast.com. Join the conversation. We stuck on the podcast. I appreciate you ladies for stopping by. And
For having us.
no doubt. And we out. Oh.